every time. Every time I put this camera up on the dash, I hook the strap on the shifter. Morning, YouTube. Guys, see what we're doing. Nice morning. It's -3. It's just cool enough that it's not too sloppy because of the snow. Give it another 1 or 2 degrees and it's going to start getting messy. It's around the temperature where you can't keep the windows clean. Keeping your vehicle clean, forget about it. Darren said to grab your camera, hit the record button. So I did. Take it easy. Have a good one. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm kind of in a funny mood. Good mood, but kind of down at the same time. Not feeling much better. My fatigue with my MS is just kicking the shit out of me the last couple of months. It's just not getting any better. I'm working at it. You know, Big Eric. You're doing a good job there, motivating me anyway. I'm not as active as excuse me. It's like 8:30 in the morning and I'm not normally up, but I had to drive Amber to the city. But I'm going to try and stay on topic here. Talk about that next. Big Eric on his journey. You know, I've got the same problems with weight, and it kind of snowballs on you. If you didn't have health problems, but you know, Eric, you do, and you know, there are several of us, and for those of us with shit for brains, those of us with health problems, and being overweight, kind of, it's like a double kick in the teeth. Because we don't, you're fighting your medical condition plus your weight. So your medical condition maybe make your weight worse. Your weight might make your medical condition worse. Your medical condition might make it hard for you to exercise to lose weight, and your weight might make it hard to exercise to improve on your medical condition. So that's where I am. One of the best exercises I could do right now, especially with my weight, to start off, one of the first things they want you to start with is walking, which is, you know, it's low impact. It's a great exercise. But when you have, I'm kind of in morning rush hour traffic here too, so if I stop talking, it might not just be shit for brains. It might be paying attention to what I'm doing. Which just distracted me enough. Damn. Okay, it started off as a legitimate comment and threw me off. So now I am into shit for brains. Oh, exercise. Oh, for the radio control shop is still closed. It's not in the best section of town. It's actually under a bridge, almost. But it's an area that the evening, let's just say there are a lot of ladies standing around in the evening in this area. When I worked at the MTS garage, we used to call it Hookerville. Yeah, one of the earliest things they can get you to do is walk, because it's low impact and you don't have to get any equipment or spend any money on gyms or anything, unless you want to use like treadmills and stuff. Mind you, I have a treadmill. The whole problem comes in that with my MS, I'm fighting. There's something going on, because it's about the fourth cop. The fatigue doesn't help me at all. It makes it hard to do things because you tire so fast. And then one of the things that my MS affects is my leg strength. So I have a problem with weakness in the legs, which is exacerbated by being overweight. So I'm trying to lose weight. The best way to do it is, other than just diet, is to exercise. The best exercise to start with is walking. The hardest thing to do right now is walking, because my legs are weaker. Walking tires me out faster, and I'm fatigued to begin with. So I'm working on my diet. I actually was at the dietitian a week or two ago. The dietitian that I go to is associated with the MS clinic, so she understands a little more about MS and limitations of persons with MS. I actually stepped up to prevent myself from falling off the wagon. Last time I went 3 months between seeing her, and I maintained my weight, which is good. I didn't gain, which is easy to do, believe me. But I didn't lose. And I was doing well with what I was eating, but in talking with her, I found that there's a couple of areas I can work with that I'm working on now, and to make it even easier to be accountable, I actually, instead of going 3 months, I'm just going to go 6 weeks. I'm going to go and see her again just before Christmas. So I have made a couple of changes where instead of making a wholesale change, or dieting, we're working on lifestyle. And the first things are things that should be easy to fix, and slightly easier to maintain. And one of the things where I'm falling down on the job is with breakfast. I'm always a breakfast eater, always have been, and to me it has to be cold cereal and milk. And my problem is how much cereal I eat in the morning. And I cheated this morning. I'm just thinking about it now. I used the bowl that I used to use. What I did was, a while back, was I had poured a bowl of cereal and then poured it into a measuring cup instead of doing it the way they say, where you pour, whatever, half a cup or whatever you're supposed to have for a normal serving and then eat that. I wanted to know how much I was eating, and it works out I'm eating, my cereal is about double what I should be having. And so I'm going to try and get over and go to the toy store since I'm out this way. I'm eating about twice as much cereal and not quite twice as much milk, because I've never been one to have a lot of milk on the cereal. Like, to me, I always hate finishing cereal and having some milk left over. I don't know why, it's just me. So that's one thing I'm going to work on, is I'm going to try and eat a proper amount of cereal in the morning. And I'm going to substitute the other half of the cereal that I'm not eating with an orange. I'm normally not a big fruit eater, and it's not that I don't like fruit. I just I can't be bothered to peel an orange. Why don't they make it like an apple so you can eat the peels, or like pears? I love pears. Love bananas too, but I'm allergic to bananas. That opens up a whole new can of worms with diet. Park over this way instead. Maybe you can finish this up real quick here. Needless to say, I have to eat better to start, and breakfast is the one thing. The other thing is with supper. I was doing better with my portions. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit here. Get the wheel out of the way. My supper portion, my lunch wasn't bad. 1.5 sandwiches is about what I'll have. I don't know, I've been on a peanut butter and jam sandwich kick. And I've been eating 1.5, and I've tried getting off the white bread and started eating whole wheat. I just can't do it. I might as well go chew on the field. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to use rye bread, which I love. And it's a little bit healthier than white, so I'm going to do that and try and cut down to 1 sandwich instead of 1.5. I used to have 2.5, sometimes 3 sandwiches for lunch. Well, well, 3 sandwiches years ago, but 2 sandwiches normally. So I cut back half, and I'm going to cut back the other half. But the biggest change that I'm going to make is going to be with supper. I thought I was doing better because we had looked at my eating healthier fruit, like fruits and vegetables, or vegetables with supper, and the portions of meat. We don't eat a lot of red meat. It's just because we're trying to eat healthier. Because I could eat steak, 2-3 times a week. So we eat a lot of chicken, not a lot of fish because Amber doesn't like it. So when she's not home, Kyle and I'll usually cook up some fish, salmon steaks, or pickerel fillets or something, which is good. And a grilled steak or a grilled fish I like better than breaded. But with what we found in talking with the dietitian is one of the things I have to change is the amount of potatoes I eat. And I thought I was doing better because they say divide your plate into thirds or whatever. Or 1/3 is your meat and 1/3 is protein, 1/3 is whatever. That stuff always screws me up. So I was eating less portions. Like instead of having a couple of chicken breasts, I'll have one. Now, usually the one I grab is the biggest one, which is, I got to stop doing that. And I'm trying, and I try not to eat in seconds, which I'm usually pretty good with. But I've been taking of the other 2/3 of the plate. I've been kind of 50-50 with vegetables and potatoes. Well, potatoes are starches, and I like the vegetables as much, or maybe even just a little more than potatoes. So I'm trying to cut down, so a quarter of the plate is going to be the meat, instead of a third, and a quarter of the plate is going to be potatoes, and half the plate is going to be vegetables. So I'm going to make those 2 changes over the next 6 weeks, and then we'll move on from there. A couple little things with snacking. Snacking isn't too bad right now. And also this stuff, that's actually Kyle's. I think I've had three soft drinks in the last 2-3 weeks. So I'm drinking stuff called the Crystal Light, or that Mio, or whatever it is, the spray in the water. Drinking lots of water, which helps, and I'm starting to feel a bit better because of that. The weight's staying the same. I'm sitting right at 300 pounds. 7.5 years ago when I quit working, I was 335, which equals what I was at my heaviest years ago when I was in the garage. My goal right now is 290. It's a very small goal because it's only a 10-pound loss, but rather than setting my final goal of losing 100 pounds, I'm going to do it in increments. So right now I'm working at getting down to 290. I don't have a timeline, but I'm going to get down to 290, slow and steady, in a way that I can maintain it through the lifestyle change and not dieting, so to speak. Anyway, Eric, you're getting active and doing what you need to do to be there for your family. Well, I've got grandchildren that I want to be around with too. My youngest granddaughter is 2, so you figure 20 to 25 years, if she gets married, I'm going to be in my 70s. I'd like to be there for that. My oldest granddaughters are 7, almost 8. You know, so if they got married in their early 20s, we're looking at you know, maybe 12 years there, 14 years. I'm going to be in my 60s, and I definitely want to be there to embarrass the hell out of them at their weddings. And you know, if they start families right away, you know, I'd like to think that you know, in my early 80s, I'm going to be a great grandfather, which I think would be, you know, fantastic. Anyway, I'm starting to drift off topic, so I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna go in the toy store here and take a quick look around, because I got other things to do this morning. So in the meantime, take it easy and have a good one.